champagne, plenty of lube. They found it all today, and possibly a pistol there just in case you decided you wanted to leave the room. And this may happen for days and days at a time because he's taking high octane drugs. He's on 100. So to sit in a room, like I said, a normal session for a person, okay, you can get down for a day if you like, but days at a time, fueling these people with drugs, keeping them locked up in the house. Could you imagine the fear that they're probably never going to leave? I don't even know, like the fear of being sexed to death is, it's crazy. And then no monkey business giving an IV. So basically after I've used you up, took everything, filmed you, and I got to record it. So now you're scared to go against me because I have the evidence of you using drugs on camera, having sex with sex workers, and they say commercial workers. Remember, these people are coming from internationally and locally. So we don't know who these people are. It's just saying commercial. So now he's got these videos of you having these sex acts, multiple probably positions and different things that are being tried throughout these videos. I could, without imagining, I could imagine the amount of fuckery that went on in this sex dungeon in these rooms called for freak offs. I think everything that you can imagine that's just not right went down with Diddy. Because if you have to take an IV just to replenish yourself from a sexcapade, this is something else. I don't even know how a person can want to engage for days at a time. Like I said, people go out on a Friday night, so they got so much going on that they taking these drugs and it's lifting them, and you want to go constantly. But to trap somebody down for days, and then when they ready to go, you're intimidating them, you're beating them, you're smacking them. The freak off ain't no fun. It sounds like jail. Right. Monkey business said they give you that shit in Vegas for extra energy after you party too hard. In a purple bag. I've had it, but not from sex. They do. They give you the IV bags. I mean, people take them now, after you get a cold flu and you're sick, you know what I'm saying? And your vitals are low so that you can replenish yourself. But imagine having to rejuvenate yourself after days of a sexual freak off. Being stuck in, and I don't think it was pleasurable. It was only pleasurable to him. I think it may have started off fun for these people, but after you're trapped in there and you're being assaulted and you're probably doing sexual acts that you didn't want to do, or these are not of your common, and you're being forced to do them and you're being paid, people are easily intimidated and they're scared. This man has a lot of power and a lot of access, and a lot, and for so long, even from, I can say, early 90s, I mean, the stories are not unheard of. We've all heard some form of the stories, not to this caliber, but we've all heard about, parties. We didn't know they were called freak offs at the time, but we knew about Diddy's all white parties or the parties on the yacht and the long list of celebrities that were invited. I never in a million years would think that he would have to, or felt the need to force people to get wrapped up into his sexual appetite. It's crazy. Right. I don't need no type of sex that's going to drain me to the point that I need to be medicated. Right. That I need medical help afterwards. The whole purpose of a freak off, in my mind, if you're a freak, like, some people out there, you're getting it in. You do what you want to do. Everybody is consenting adults, and you can have as much fun or have long as you want to. But I think the intimidation, the beating, using your money, adding drugs, what I'm saying? Some people are freaks without the drugs. So now you need to beat me and give me drugs. It's crazy. It just shows you the narcissism and the power that he had over these people, and to influence them to not only just have these freak offs with him, but to help hide his crimes. You had people just like, Gangsta Cat mentioned the gentleman, and I can't never remember his name. It's the last guy that brought up the charges about him sexually assaulting him in the bathroom and doing music. This was during the Love album that was being made. He said he sat in the bathroom while Combs was in the shower. In my mind, I don't know any man who is of his masculinity sitting in the bathroom to watch a man, take his shower and I'm playing music for you. Now, I'm all for business. I don't have time. You got to get me when I'm in the shower, but it's not like you're in a closed shower. You know what I'm saying? I understand that people, especially moguls of his caliber, they don't have much time. But this man was using who he was to manipulate you. I know 50 having a ball with this. Monkey business said, I'm not going to cap a freak off sounds fun if it wasn't at Diddy house. Right. I guess so. I guess everybody has their wildest fantasies and things that you would do, the people that you would do them with. You know what I'm saying? It gets pretty freaky in your head. But just as you thought that you was freaky, Diddy is way freakier. AKA P. Diddy, AKA Love, AKA PD. He tops the cake. He tops the cake in this because he is doing everybody and he's done everything from above. He ain't got no shame. Right. You're worth all of this money. But you know what? It's these people that are worth all of this money because, like we say all the time, the money can't buy you character. So your character, if you were already a person who was narcissist, and don't get me wrong, I feel like in a lot of these businesses, you do have people, thank you, Lil Rod, you do have people that have this outlook on life because now they've got money in their pockets, they've got respect, they have people intimidated, and they've networked a lot. So you have people that carry this level of arrogance, like it's all about me. You do as I say or as I want done, and there's no holds barred about it. So with him having all of this money, I think that just made his personality worse than what it probably could have been if he was just a regular person. Because like I said, he's giving these people high volume drugs. He's soliciting commercial sex workers. He's recruiting teams. You see, they're talking about his enterprise throughout this whole thing because under that Combs enterprise, which involved his media, his music, and his liquor branding, he used all of these as tactics towards people. He uses it to, make people feel like if you do this, or if you don't do this, this is the repercussion. And if you do this, this is how I will repay you. Because loyalty means everything to him, right? Loyalty keeps people's mouth closed. I mean, I know money gets boring, after a while. You've bought all your toys, you're flying in the air, you've got yachts, you done bought all the jewelry, what else? You got all the cars, you've built multiple enterprises, created music all over the world that people are dancing to, but it obviously didn't buy him enough because he's out there beating on people in order to get these actions done. These people are terrified of him. So yeah, he's gotten bored. He's graduated to just having fun with his money like the average rich person into freak offs. And within these freak offs, he created his own world, and everybody that's engaging in it has now been recruited into my world, into his enterprise house, hence the RICO. That's true. Yeah, he says he's looking for loyalty, but in all actuality, he wants slaves. He's the master in this because they're all doing what he tells them to do. They're scared. Think about it. If you come to work every day, you're not working for Molly maids, right? We're just talking about the house staff. You're not working for Molly maids. You're working for P. Diddy, aka Love, and he's playing you very, very good. And within that house, you get to see and have access to a lot of celebrities. You got some good stories to go home and tell your family about. But at the same time, these people are also afraid to speak against you because you're providing them money to sustain their life. They're getting paid very well. A lot of them are not willing to walk away. You have people that will sacrifice and close their eyes because they don't want to walk away because of money. You have other people that's just scared because they've seen the level of what he can do. Right. They've seen the level of what he can do. They've seen how he's probably blackballed and punished other people. His staff probably is probably not a high turnover. The people that work for him, because these celebrities, they want loyal house staff. They don't want newbies in their house every other week, cleaning their house, going through their things, having access when they're not home. So a lot of these people end up being your long-term working staff. And they know like all the intricate details. They're washing your drawers. They're washing your kids' clothes. They're creating schedules. They've got your breakfast. They know what diet you have, what doctor's appointment. These people know your life. So a lot of people don't want to walk away because of money. Some people are scared of what he'll do, but it is crazy. He is definitely going to do a whole lot of time from this. So it says the members and associates of the Combs enterprise, including high-ranking supervisors, this is going back into the house staff. So this is going to be security staff, household staff, personal assistants that I just mentioned, because they're the ones booking your events. They're booking your hotels. Your personal assistant, like I said, has your itinerary, your contacts. They know everything about you. They are an extension of you. So they're definitely going to be called into this case. And other Combs business employees facilitated the freak-offs. So they're saying, and I'm going to take it from the top, it says members and associates of the Combs enterprise, including high-ranking supervisors. So you have Diddy, who's the boss, and supervisors who he's hired to be supervisors over the other staff, security staff of the household, personal assistants, and other Combs business employees facilitated the freak-offs by, among other things, here we go, booking hotel rooms for the freak-offs, stocking the hotel rooms in advance with required freak-off supplies. Hence why they found over 1,000 tubes of lube already purchased in Mr. Combs' home, including controlled substances, baby oil, lubricant, extra linen, lights, cleaning the hotel rooms after the freak-offs, and trying to mitigate room damage. Arrange for travel for victims, commercial sex workers, and Combs to and from freak-offs. Now, that's important where it says, mitigating room damage, because we've seen what happened in the hallway between him and Cassie. He came running out in his pink, colorful striped socks and the towel, and he commenced to assaulting her in the hallway with no shame. So imagine how he tears up hotel rooms. On video, they captured him throwing a vase at her. So imagine what the personal assistant has to negotiate after he has left a room for either a freak-off or a fight that could have took place. Because now this associate not only has to clean this up and keep it hush hush and pay who you have to, now you got to come in and make sure that these people don't backdoor you. You're the one, you are the front face, because these people can backdoor take your money and then still put you out there. So what? Loyalty comes back into it. So these personal assistants have to be convincing. You got to be a friend of a friend. Hey, Mr. Combs is a very powerful person. If this gets out, it was just a misunderstanding. Things can be misconstrued. So I need you to take care of X, Y, Z, and we'll make sure that Mr. Combs takes care of you. So that's how a lot of those transactions go with the personal assistants. And the same thing with the security supervisors, because they are the ones that have to troubleshoot and engage with the public to make sure that Mr. Combs is not looked at in a bad light. They need to make sure that nobody knows what's really going down in this enterprise. So it says, so freak-offs to try to mitigate room damage, arranging for travel for victims, commercial sex workers, and Combs to and from freak-offs. So everybody had their hands on deck. Everybody was involved, from decorating, providing food, providing the toys, the lubricant, extra sheets. So they all know what was getting ready to go down in these rooms. The assistant knew what rooms were being booked so that he can go and engage. And I did hear not too long ago that with as much money as he has, he didn't stay at a lot of five-star hotels. Reason being is because he used his celebrity. He didn't want to be noticed. These are big time hotels. People will say something, it causes a lot of attention. So he would go to, I would say, the next step down or two when going to these hotels. Possibly because it's less celebrity status and it's easier to intimidate these people with money and being the one to be exclusively staying here at the hotel. So it says, so they were supplying and helping, resupply these rooms during the freak offs. It says resupplying Combs with requested supplies, delivering large sums of cash to Combs to pay the commercial workers, because you got to pay them, and scheduling the delivery for IVs. So he wasn't even sending people out. He had them probably come, some medical physicians come in or somebody who's certified and prop these people up for hours, because a good IV, when you go in, it can take about 45 minutes to an hour, depending on what you're getting, what vitamins and nutrients you're trying to put in your body. And you can take 1 or 2 bags, depending on what it is. So now you've got people propped up, lined up, sitting next to each other with their arms out, hooked up to IV bags after a freak off. So it says, in about March of 2024, during searches of Combs' residence in Miami, Florida, and Los Angeles, California, law enforcement seized various freak-off supplies, including narcotics and more than 1,000 bottles of baby oil and lubricant. Now, I'm not new to this. I don't think that with women, he's going to need but so much lubricant and baby oil. So you can kind of get a visual idea of what those toys were being used for, what those oils and lubricants were being used for with these commercial sex workers and maybe some people who just wanted to join the party. So it says, Combs subjected victims to physical, emotional, and verbal abuse to cause the victims to engage in freak-offs. So the freak-offs is not as much fun as we think they are. It sounds extravagant, like, okay, he's got lights, he's got food, he got liquor, something to get you high, you gonna freak off all night. But at the end of the day, you're fighting, he's smacking you, loading you up with drugs, you're being forced to do things that you don't probably want to do, acts that you would never conduct with a different kind of partner. You're having to do that with him. So it's really not sounding like it's enticing to me. This sounds more like, you said, slaves. He's abusive. So it says, Combs maintained control over his victims through, among other things, physical violence, promises of career opportunities, granting and threatening and withholding financial support, and by other coercive means, including tracking their whereabouts, dictating the victim appearance, monitoring their medical records, controlling their housing, and supplying them with controlled substances. What are you kidding me? So I understood the level of narcissism here, but this man, let me read that again, because this just really changes the amount of intimidation. So Combs maintained control. It's not saying he wanted or operated. He maintained control over all of his victims. So if you were a victim of him at one of these freak offs, or a victim of being one of